My name is Shamira Lukomwa, the president of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill's Muslim Student Association. Here with me are Ali Sajjad, the president of the North Carolina State Muslim Student Association, and Brian Swift, the class of 2017 president of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill's Dental School. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Truly, we are from God, and to Him do we return. This is a verse from the Quran that is often said when someone passes. As you all have seen, we are lighting candles to commemorate the lives of Deah Barakat, Razan Abu-Salha, and Yusor Abu-Salha, our three winners.
On behalf of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill MSA, the NCSU MSA, and the UNC School of Dentistry, we would like to thank you for coming tonight. Last night, we lost three cherished members of our community, Deah Barakat, Yusor Abu-Salha, and Razan Abu-Salha. We are deeply saddened by the senseless and tragic losses of Deah, Yusor, and Razan. Not only was Deah a current second-year student, but Yusor was recently accepted and was going to begin at the dental school in August as part of the class of 2019. Razan was an undergraduate student at North Carolina State University.
Now, tonight's services are not about politics. It's to come together and recognize who these three individuals were, and that they were three larger-than-life winners. This evening, we'll begin with the Quran recitation by a Chapel Hill student, Ahmad Mosabbeh, followed by remarks from the chancellors of both the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, as well as North Carolina State University. Then we will continue on with words of commemoration from Dr. Omid Safi, the director of Islamic Studies Center from Duke University, and Imam Abdullah Antepli, the chief representative of Muslim Affairs at Duke University. We will then close the vigil with words of remembrance and celebration from students from Carolina and NC State communities, as well as a closing remark from Deah's older brother, Farris Barakat.
At this time, we would like to call our UNC student, Ahmad Mosabbeh, to recite some passages from the Quran.
I will be reciting to you from Surah Al-Imran, which is the third chapter of the Quran, and we will be reciting three short verses relative to our plight here at UNC on this cold night. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون فرحين بما آتاهم الله من فضله ويستبشرون بالذين لم يلحقوا بهم من خلفهم ألا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون يستبشرون بنعمة من الله وفضل صدق الله العظيم. I'm sorry, I forgot. Following us is a remark by our beloved Chancellor, Chancellor Carol Folt. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm joined here with Chancellor Randy Woodson from NC State University, and we are so honored by all of you here tonight, that you have all come here together to be with us in a celebration of lives and in a moment that we will find peace with each other and comfort, and also the resolution to move forward to do things in an even better way. And we are also so grateful that we have other members of our university community here. Chancellor Deborah Saunders-White from NC Central University is here with us today, as is President Tom Ross. I also know that there are probably hundreds of students from UNC, from all parts of our campus. There are busloads of students that have joined us from NC State and NC Central, and I think this is a moment of unprecedented coming together, and thank you. That it is such a privilege to host you here tonight. We're also going to be going to NC State tomorrow, and we're going to be celebrating lives there and coming together with that community. And I think this is something that is a part of the legacy of hope that we see from tonight. It was today one of the saddest, most heartbreaking and incomprehensible days of probably all of our lives. And I think we are all first and foremost thinking about the people who were most directly affected, the friends and the families of Deah, Yusor, and Razan. These were such amazing people, sensitive, generous. From what I hear, their main interests were in saving the world, and they saw their mission to do for others that could not take care of themselves. We have seen an outpouring of love, not just from our own community, region, and state, from across the world. People that want to affirm that people do not have to be alone at this moment. And in fact, through that, we can affirm a strength about the lives of people and how important those are. We're all here, the university chancellors, because we know that our communities are really one community. And when we think of our Muslim students, just as we think of other students across our campuses, we know that we bond together. We actually have to grow, and we have to be part of a larger whole to make the positive change that we all want. We want the legacy of these three wonderful students to be a legacy of hope and understanding. And we also want them to know, and we want everyone to know, that you're not alone in this struggle. We want to make sure that our universities find better ways to helping people come together and to find not only safety and understanding, but aspirational goals about making our entire world a safer, more inclusive and vibrant place. As is often the case at a time of tragedy, when you think that you're going to reach out to try to help people, you find that the people you're trying to help are the ones that in fact help you. That has been my experience today as I've talked with groups of students, with faculty, with Imam Abdullah, sitting in and watching the prayer ceremony, and even coming here tonight. I have been so moved and touched by the feelings that people have that life is good, that we can make it better, and we can find that aspiration moving forward. And I think that we will work harder because of what we have gone through today. I spoke earlier in the day with Deah's brother, And he said that his mother had talked about the importance of kindness, of reaching across the paths that divide us. And she and her family's faith and their generous spirit at this time is, of course, the greatest example to us all. So I thank you for being here. I will do all that I can in my power to help this peaceful and positive moment go forward. At the same time, we will continue to do all that we can to ensure the safety and the hope of the entire community. Thank you.
These are times, these are days that we struggle to find words, the words that explain, to help us comprehend and understand why something as senseless as this can happen. We seek the words to help comfort all of you here tonight, to help those that are faced with this amazing, difficult loss. But we're all faced with this loss. We've lost a brother, a sister, nephew, classmates, friends, across both of our campuses, across this community and across this country. People are struggling to find answers. Tonight, we remember Razan, an amazing design student at NC State, an amazing breath of fresh air for the college and for that school. Yusor, an outstanding biology student at NC State that was so excited, having only been married for 6 weeks, to begin her journey in the dental school here at Carolina. And Deah, if you've met Deah, you know that this is a man that possessed the most amazing bear hug that you could ever experience. And as our colleagues now in the dental school have come to learn, he quickly got to know all of his colleagues in that great college. So we remember them for all they were, but more importantly, we remember them for what they wanted to be and what they could have been. These are times that we feel like we've lost critical members of our community. We feel a sense of unease, a lack of safety. It's our responsibility and our collective responsibility as a community to ensure that we don't let this challenge us to be the kind of inclusive and welcoming environment that we expect our campuses to be, and in fact what they are for the country. The United States has been called the Great Melting Pot. And it's something that as chancellors, we're very proud to lead institutions that represent that melting pot more than any place in our society. So we will remember all of their contributions, but more importantly, we'll focus on the future and make sure that we're doing everything we can as leaders of two great institutions to make sure that we're keeping our campuses safe, secure, and impactful for the world around us. And that's what these young people sought to do and had done in their brief lives. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for including NC State in this event tonight.
At this time, we'd like to welcome Mayor Mark Kleinschmidt to give a few words.
I stand here tonight like you with a broken heart, reflecting on what this community means to me, what I hope it means. I know what it means to you. This community, this university, this town is a welcoming town. It's a compassionate town. It's a peace-loving town. I know this because I know this for at least 3 important reasons. Because the 3 souls we lost helped not only create but sustain that truth about who we are as a community. Welcoming, compassionate, and peace-loving. I stand here, though, torn because I have questions. I have questions about why and how something like this could happen. And I know you do too. And we're going to struggle. We're going to hear thoughts from others. They will try to label this experience as something or another, and some will be true, and some won't make as much sense to us. But what I believe that we can hold on to, that really I think would be the greatest legacy of the 3 lives, our 3 citizens that we lost, be to remember who we are and the community that they sustained. They took the values of this university and this town and lived them joyously. They shared their welcoming spirit, their compassion, and their desire for peace, not just with those of us who lived here among them, but with the whole world. That's a lesson for us to reflect on in this time of struggle. Because I know I need you to do that for me, and I hope that I can do that for you. We all need to do that for each other. Let us ensure that this is the community in which they lived, and make sure that we'll always be that community that they helped sustain as we remain committed to those values and the extraordinary lives that they lived. Exemplars of this university and this town. And I share your grief tonight. I share your struggle. And I share your hope that we can be true to those lessons. Thank you.
Now we will have some words of commemoration from Dr. Omid Safi, Director of the of Duke University Islamic Studies Center, and words from Imam Antepli, the Chief Representative of Muslim Affairs and Muslim Chaplain at Duke University.
Good evening, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Greetings of peace. Once you face this kind of tragedy, in itself is heinous, horrible, hurtful. But often, these kind of tragedies reveals the best of most communities. And I think this gathering, this event tonight, is one manifestation of such revealing the best of us as a community. As we face this ugly, horrible reality, there are things that we can do and there are things that we cannot do. We cannot bring Deah, Yusor, or Razan back. We cannot punish the criminal who is behind this heinous crime. That's the job of our judicial system and our law enforcement, and they are doing their due diligent work. But there are things that we can do. We can join the Barakat and Muhammad family in their grief. We can grieve with them, and we can hold them in our prayers and thoughts. We can remember these beautiful souls. We can imagine what they would have become if they were given a chance and opportunity. But more importantly to me, we can take part in fulfilling their dreams, because all 3 of them, they were in the middle of fundraising. They were all proud Syrian Americans, proud Muslim Americans. They were fundraising for the Syrian refugees in Turkey, in other parts of the Middle East, who are suffering harsh conditions of the winter. In addition to things that we can do individually, I think collectively, let's fulfill their dreams. They wanted to change the world and wanted to make a better place. Through us, we can make their dreams live, inshallah, God willing. Let's pray in every language, in the language that we pray or we feel comfortable for these beautiful souls. And let's pray in action for their dreams, for their aspirations, inshallah. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. It seems cruel to speak of peace in a time period where there's little peace in our hearts, there's little peace in Chapel Hill, there's a little peace in Raleigh, a little peace in America, and little peace in the world. But we must speak of it, we must dream it, and we must work to make it happen. This is a day and a night to come together in grief. And I will tell you, my friends, that I've spent 25 years of my life studying philosophy and theology, and there's not an answer that I have read in any book that can make sense out of this nonsense. There is no mystic or theologian or philosopher out there who can make this ugliness into something comprehensible. So what are we going to do? And I suggest that we turn to these three beautiful people whose lives we are honoring, and we try to learn one more life lesson from them. What were they doing in their life? If you check out Deah's last Facebook message, you see that he was working in downtown Durham providing free dental care for impoverished, marginalized people there, at the same time that he was working for a project called Syrian Dental Relief halfway around the world. If you look at Yusor's life and don't just see her dancing in that joyous moment with her Baba, with her dad, you also see the way that she was working to alleviate the suffering of refugees in Kilis, Turkey. And if you look at the life of Razan, and you see this beautiful project that she was the artistic genius behind, called Optimism is a Lost Sunnah. Optimism is the lesson of the Prophet. What is it that all three of them teach us? They teach us that we've got to connect the suffering here, the suffering that each and every single one of us feels in our bones right now, to the suffering halfway around the world, because our humanity here is already wrapped up with the humanity around the world. We know that 3 cruel, hateful bullets snuffed out lives that were just coming to fruition. We cannot undo the hatred. We cannot undo the hate crime. We cannot undo the bullet. But even in the very midst of our tears and our grief, here's the hope that I hope we cling on to, even in this dark dungeon of despair and grief that we find us in. I hope we're able to leave here with the faith that at the end of the day, knowledge is somehow more luminous than ignorance, that justice is more beautiful than tyranny, and that most important lesson of all, that love is more divine than hatred. Ameen, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Omid, Safi, and Imam Abdullah for those beautiful words. Right now, we're going to open up the remembrance and celebration of the lives of Deah, Razan, and Yusor. At this time, we're going to have some words from Farris, the older brother of Deah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I greet you all with a message of peace, and I'm honored to be here today. I have received so many messages of support from across the world. I've seen people try to apologize for this act when, trust me, as a Muslim, I know that one act cannot define a mass. I thank you all for coming here. I literally can't even see the end of the crowd. My family thanks you for coming here. Yesterday we got news that maybe my brother, his wife, and Yusor's sister Razan, who was visiting, might be caught up in an incident here on campus. My mom was comfortable with the idea. She said, I feel good. I know nothing crazy. I know nothing happened. A little roller coaster ride later, we find ourselves in the same spot. Anytime someone comes to me, and it's been so many people, I tell them, Alhamdulillah, which means praise be to God. We say that in good and in bad, knowing that God is the most wise, because I know I couldn't make sense of it. I know many others couldn't make sense of it either. So we depend on God, the wise, in this time. We say Alhamdulillah because we know, when I imagine my brother now, with his bride Yusor and Razan, they are elated and happy in the highest levels of paradise. We're taught that life is a bridge. You don't want to build on the bridge. You want to build when you get there. So my brother, his wife, and Razan lived a life where they were planning for the next life. They didn't build for the bridge. They got to their destination. They are home. And you have no idea how much comfort that brings us. Literally, I've laughed at how amazing it is for my brother to first get married before me, right? And then become so passionate about dentistry and see him light up when he talks about, his UNC buddies here. He always beat me. So he beat me home, and I'm sure, the only thing that makes me cry really is when I see Yusor's friends. That to me doesn't make sense. But when I see them cry, I just can't handle it. Them, us, Abu-Salha family, we're all in the same boat. We're happy. We know life is short. I plead that you live in their legacy, that you share the good that you know of them, and take the message my mom wanted to make public, and do not fight fire with fire. If, and it is quite possible, that this was an act based off of evil and a scared, ignorant man, do not let ignorance propagate in your life. Do not reply to ignorance with ignorance. Become an amazing, bright, intellectual leader that I know this university can create. The Facebook group I first created, I said, maybe let's use our three angels. I thought that was overused, and they technically aren't angels. They've sure acted like it sometimes. But they are literally winners. They've won. They've passed the challenge that is this life. And literally, I ask you to see the comfort in that. We are going to cry because we miss them. I had an appointment with him today at 2 that I had to miss. I don't know what I'm going to do on Saturday mornings when it's time for family breakfast. And today, I've reached for my phone so many times to text him. Be like, yo man, NFL stars, Chris Rock. These guys are talking about, oh. I was so happy this message is out that these 3 individuals lived an amazing life, and I wanted to share that experience with my brother. And literally, this is kind of what hurts me the most now, is that I just really wish he was here to see it all. At some point, we are going to move on with dignity, be the students I know UNC-Chapel Hill and NC State and Central and whoever else is here can make you be, and be citizens of this world, because we lost 3 great citizens of this world and of this country, but I think they've inspired thousands. I thank you for your time and for your support, and God bless you all. And if you see someone crying, tell them Deah is happy, Yusor is happy, Razan is happy. Again, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. I know that you guys can't see this, but there are people for as far as my eyes can see, and it really is a true testament to the legacy that the 3 of them are leaving behind. They really are amazing people. My name's Omar AbdelBaky. As a president of the dental school student government, part of the local Muslim community, and most importantly as a friend, I would like to send my deepest condolences to the Barakats, the Abu-Salhas, and everyone here. Deah's amazing spirit of service and kindness will have a lasting impact on all of us. I know at the dental school we will continue the legacy by continuing to provide dental care to the underserved community and our local community here, as well as the global community. The UNC family lost incredible people today. And I just wanted to share a little story that I think sums up Deah pretty well. If you've seen me today, you've probably already heard this story, but a few months ago during the Muslim holiday, I was texting Deah, I was wishing him a happy holiday, and my nephews, who are here, had gotten these really cool little like flying helicopter things that had sensors, and I was just really impressed by them. So I texted him and I was like, man, Deah, we never got toys like these growing up. So about a week later, Deah texted me and asked me what my address is, and I didn't give it much thought. I gave him my address. Then about a week later, I heard my door knock, and then by the time I made it over to the door, there was nobody there, and I see this box outside. I go inside, I open the box, and inside is one of the helicopters that I was telling Deah about, with not me asking for nothing at all. I mentioned it in passing, and he was just that type of person, so willing to do anything to make the people around him happy. And that's the legacy that Deah, Razan, and Yusor leave behind. And inshallah, God willing, we will continue that. Thank you all.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace and blessings be on you all. Deah, Yusor, and Razan, all 3 of them, no words can justify who they are, what kind of people they are, the things that they did for us, the impact that they did on all of the community around us today. Even worldwide now, people are still being influenced by their actions, by what they did and who they are. When I first met Deah, he was back in middle school. Of course, he was always playing basketball. And it was the Friday League tournament. And back then, he wasn't as mature as he was now. But he was, mashallah, may God give him paradise, that he was a great person. And the same thing goes for both Yusor and Razan. They paired so well with each other, the families themselves. I cannot tell you how well the families were so cohesive. They were so selfless for each other. Deah himself, when I first came here to UNC, he saw that I was unstable as a human being. He took it upon himself to provide a foundation through him so that I can always trust him, to rely on him for anything that may happen in my life. So when this incident happened yesterday, the first person I thought of to talk to was him. Then I realized I couldn't even talk to him. Then the second person I thought of was Yusor, to see if he was okay. Then I realized I couldn't talk to her either. Later on, I found out Razan, the third person I would have contacted to see if everyone was okay or not. And I found out she was one of them also. As to refer to the selflessness that Deah had, as Omar AbdelBaky said, usually when I play basketball, I don't wear basketball shoes at all. I wear running shoes typically. And he noticed that himself, and he took it upon himself without even telling anybody to buy me basketball shoes, without no concern at all. It was just a thing that he wanted to do out of the kindness out of his heart. There was nothing, no hesitation whatsoever about how much the money cost, or nothing at all. Automatically, his instance is to always provide for the people that he loves. The loyalty that he showed to everyone, to all his friends, to anybody that came his way was unbelievable. If you were to speak to any of the people that he has met within a week, within a couple of days actually, they will say that they felt like they've known him forever, with the way he would speak to the people, the love he would show. And the same, now to speak about Yusor, she was one of the most innocent, most kind human beings I have ever met in my entire life. I cannot even imagine as to why this would happen to her. And the same goes for Razan. At the same time, as Farris, Deah's older brother, said, they are in a place, much better place than we will ever be. We are still going through this trial. They have passed us. They have won. And we can only wish for them the best. And I ask of you all, whoever has met Deah, Yusor, or Razan, to forgive them for any faults that they have made towards you, or anything that might have happened. Please forgive them. I cannot exaggerate as to how important they were to people. The incident itself, you can see the family, how hurtful it was to be there, to be unsure about what was going on, to wait. That is why I'm so grateful, and I'm sure they would be too, for you all to be here now. And I honor you all. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry, so sorry if I'm a little shaky. So, I'm just gonna read this. So Razan was a girl of many talents. She had a smile that could light a whole room. Her nur shined through every action she took. Her compassion and strength helped all of us realize the importance of giving back. She was the greatest friend I could ever ask for. She was loyal, she was kind, she always was assuring. When I wasn't feeling good, she immediately noticed and was quick to comfort me. She loved anything design. She loved helping others, and she loved breakfast food, French toast being her favorite. She was always laughing and filled any room with joy. We would see each other at least twice a week, texted every single day. We would joke, we discussed our dreams. And now every time my phone buzzes, I jump and I think it might be her. We had plans for the future. We were going to graduate together. We were going to run our first marathon together. But we had plans, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the ultimate planner. I had lunch with her that afternoon on the day of her passing. She was oddly carefree, even though she had a critique coming up in one of her studios. She told me she missed her sister and wanted to visit her, and that her house has been really quiet without her siblings home. She insisted on dropping me off at my next class because she didn't want me to walk in the cold. We nicknamed her Zizi. As I try to figure out what I want to do next, I know that she would have wanted us to continue to move forward and to make the world better. So with this, I say Muslims' lives matter, all lives matter, white people lives matter, black lives matter, humans all matter. And I think that's important to remember. Jazakallah khairan.
Assalamu alaikum. Doha, Razan, Doha, Yasmine, and I have all had the pleasure of growing up with Razan. We first met in first grade at Al-Iman school. I remember every day playing with her on the monkey bars, trying to get through, and we all fell down, and we would try again and climb it and climb and climb it until we could climb until the end. I remember going to see her every day in middle school and in high school, and seeing her, she would just fill the room up with smiles, and everybody would smile. Anybody would forget anything bad that had happened to them because Razan was in the room. Razan and I were a part of Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, and she helped me lead as vice president, and we would compete together in service projects, soup kitchens, visiting the elderly. That's all we cared about. In FCCLA, we would attend competitions nationally. We won gold medals. We would take trips to the beach, watch movies together, all of us together, make silly dance music videos together, have sleepovers, eat French toast. And she also liked veggie omelets a lot. I remember just running with her around the lake, both of us motivating each other to get stronger. And we were always there for each other. I know we are all heartbroken, and I'm very shaken, and we're all confused, but Razan, Deah, and Yusor all left something great for us. And I think that it's our duty to continue their greatness and continue to do good things around us and just pray for their family and their patience, inshallah.
Thank you all for being here. I'm overwhelmed by the number of people that are here. It's amazing. When you've known someone for 14 years, it's hard to imagine a life without them. And I honestly expected at least 60 more with Razan and Yusor. And, you know, facing the facts, like everyone else said, they're in a better place now. And, you know, they're doing so much better. You know, we think about how heartbreaking and sad it is, and as much as it is, we always have to think about the fact that they're gonna be in heaven. You know, they're our heroes, and they had so much passion and so much drive to do good things for the community, and I think it's our duty, like Deema said, to continue that. I know Razan would spend hours in her design studio trying to compete with deadlines, and then she would go home on the weekends and wake up early in the morning and go to downtown Raleigh and provide food for people who were homeless. Like, she was always volunteering, always keeping herself busy with things that were productive and that were amazing. If you gave her a piece of cardboard, she would make an amazing piece of artwork out of it. I mean, she was one of the most intelligent, amazing, awesome people I've ever known, and I'm heartbroken to see that she's gone. And I think we all need to keep them in our prayers and to know that they're not going to be forgotten. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. I met Yusor back in high school. We didn't know each other for long, but after our first hangout, we knew that it was meant to be. And Yusor, me, Rowan, and Amira, and Rana, it's always been us five. She wasn't just a friend, she was our best friend. She was our sister, she was family. And in the fall, me and her were supposed to start together at UNC-Chapel Hill School of Dentistry. After our acceptance, Deah and Yusor both bought me my first Carolina Dentistry school sweater so we can announce it together. And 2 days ago, she sent me a picture of her in our matching sweaters, excited about us starting together. And I want everyone to remember them, please, only for in the good, and not to cry when you hear their names, but to laugh at how clumsy Deah was playing basketball, and how Yusor loved having pancakes for breakfast, dinner, and lunch, and how Razan loved to read, and she was so geeky, but so cute. Just remember them in your prayers, and only mention them in good, please.
Okay, so Nada, you did an amazing job, and thank you for staying strong. This day has been really tough on all of us. All night I just was tossing and turning. Going on social networks wasn't a help, but my phone is always in my hand, I can't help it. So I was constantly just checking, reading all of the things that people were saying, seeing her pictures, and just seeing how her smile, I was literally evaluating her smile. You can tell I'm a psychology major. I was sitting there just seeing how her smile curves upward and how it just brightens a room. I kept on remembering when we were standing there as bridesmaids in this V shape that we had no idea what we were doing. And the doors opened and she walked in white, and she just looked so amazing that everybody was speechless. And I just keep on imagining, remembering how beautiful she looked, and just seeing that smile on her face and her parents happy, and standing there, it was just, it's a lot. I mean, with me and Yusor, it went back all the way back into 3rd grade. I remember there was a holiday gift exchange, and she had just moved to Raleigh from, I think, Clinton. And so I remember I had got her name, and so I bought her a gift and gave it to her for the holiday exchange. And from that day, we became best friends.
Hi, everyone. Like everyone mentioned, the turnout is phenomenal, and I promise you guys all standing out in the cold, these people are definitely worth it. like everyone has said, they're amazing people, and it's not, that isn't even like totally encompassing how much they've done within their life, short lives. Yusor is one of my bestest friends, and it still hasn't really hit me yet. It hits me for a minute, and I'm really sad, and I cry, but then the next minute it just goes away, and I'm like, I mean, Yusor's still alive. I still have her number in my phone. I still have those pictures in my photo album of us on her bachelorette weekend, of us from high school, of us in college, and the wedding, and it's just really heartbreaking, but I just can't accept it just yet. But I know that Deah, Yusor, and sweet, sweet Razan would want you all to know that this life is short, obviously, and to make the most of it. And not in that just to go out and have fun, which, I mean, that is partly true, but also do something, have an impact. I mean, their short lives, they've impacted so many people, us, people across the world, continue their life, continue their legacy. And I just thank you guys so much for being out here. It really helps. And just keep their families in your prayers. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. I still haven't really fully comprehended or made sense, not that you can really make sense out of what happened, but I just haven't really given myself enough time to truly think about what has happened. And like Rena said, it comes and goes, you accept it for a minute and you cry about it, and then you're in denial the next minute, and you just, you don't know what to believe. I'd like to start out with when me and Yusor first became friends, which was right before college. Us five, like she said, we were like the Fab Five. We were always together. Neda and I actually went to ECU our first year, so we would rush over here on the weekends just to see them and go to state. And I have speeding tickets to prove that, but we just couldn't wait. We would come, we would hang out at state, we would meditate, as Yusor used to like to do, in a random room in the library, and then we would go pray at the mosque, Jummah prayer, have lunch, and we would talk about great things. I was so happy to be involved with such a great crowd. We would talk about Habitat for Humanity or how to help people overseas, and just, as everyone said, they were true humanitarians. They really cared for the well-being of others. And although we're hearing all these great things and I'm saying all these great things to you, I still don't feel like anything I say will amount up to who they were as people, and therefore I'd rather not direct this conversation to you lovely people, but to them. And I want them to know, because I know that they're listening to this and I know that they can hear me, that we were all so proud of them and continue to be proud of them. We're all so happy for them because we know that they're in a better place than here, where hatred like this does not exist. And I want them to know that we're all here for the families, our community, as well as new people that we've been meeting. We're all here for the families. My love goes out to Yusuf, to Suzanne, to the parents, and to Farris. Almost forgot your name. We love you guys, and we'll never forget this, but we are so happy to be comforted with the fact that you're in a better place than here, and I have our faith to thank for that. Thank you.
So I just want to make this brief. I'm going to try not to lose it up here.
To each and every one of you who are here tonight, on behalf of the School of Dentistry, thank you thank you from the bottom of my heart, from all of our hearts. Yusor, Razan, and Deah, we love you. We will never forget you.
I would like to again thank all the friends and family members and community members who have come up to speak about the wonderful people that Deah, Yusor, and Razan were. At this time, I understand that there are a lot of questions, people are hurting, and we just need to remember, as the friends and the family members and community members have said, that we need to remember their legacy, and we need to, this is the beginning of a lifetime of continuing the humanitarian efforts that the three of these wonderful people have made. And to that end, I would like to encourage everybody to go ahead and go on Facebook and like the page Our Three Winners, facebook.com/Our Three Winners, where you can keep updated about what's happening with prayer services, funeral services, and other types of memorial events that'll be happening on campus here at UNC-Chapel Hill, as well as at NC State and other locations around the Triangle. And again, to keep this brief, I would really just like for all of us to take a look at everybody around you. You know, we have come here to commemorate and celebrate and remember the lives of these three individuals that have made an impact, and that impact can be shown by how many people are here today. Thank you.